Hey yo, it's Big Zay Matt, the king of trunk music, liquor store all-star, and you tune in with the Rev and the Bell podcast. Get blessed on your way to work, you feel me?
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Rev and the Bear. I am your host, The Rev. I'm alongside Chris, the Bear Collins.
What's going on? It's been a minute.
It's been about a week and a half.
And you know what? There was a busy schedule. We had conflicting schedules, and now we finally got that time to meet
We had
up.
some injuries.
We had some injuries. It's all right. I'm okay, people. Just a little banged up. Looking like Gronkowski with that big old brace, except on my leg.
But before we get started, though, let's give a shout out to my hometown, Atlanta. Congratulations. MLS Cup is yours. First championship in 20 years. 73,000 people, sold out crowd. The highest attended championship game.
Was it played
It was played in Atlanta.
But like the new stadium?
Yeah, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 73,000 people. It's the highest attended championship game in North America.
So like MLS Cup kind of.
MLS
Just
Cup, Super Bowl,
anything.
World Series.
Really?
Highest attended single game.
Holy cow!
So yeah.
And second season winning a championship.
Second season's winning a championship.
Sounds like the Vegas Golden Knights. And you know what? I'm not gonna say it. Okay, you're not a bandwagon, but you started on the right teams that came in to the leagues. I guess you could say.
I mean, well,
first season Vegas. You're like, oh, I'm a Vegas fan because I'm not an NHL fan, and you picked Vegas.
But Atlanta, that's my hometown. So
well, I get that, but
the Vegas one is kind of. I get a lot of backlash for that one. Yeah, but I mean, once I tell people like I didn't watch hockey, I didn't get into hockey.
Yeah.
And so I didn't expect Vegas to be that good.
I don't think anybody did because there was a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, but I was just like, yeah, I'm new to hockey. They're new to hockey. Perfect fit.
I like you.
Yeah,
I like you. You're new in class.
Like, you're new and weird. I'm new and weird. Like, let's...
Hockey doesn't belong in a desert, but I like it.
Yeah. I'm from the South. It makes sense. It's hot.
Well, what should we get started with today? I was thinking like NFL first. I think everybody's been waiting for... Because a couple of episodes we've been doing lately have not really been...
Yeah, I did that solo show.
Yeah,
A lot of people were...
Yeah, they thought we broke up. We don't break up here, and if we ever did, it'd be on good terms. We would let you all know.
But no, like as I said in the solo show, I'm gonna do the solo show to cover topics that we don't get to on the show.
Exactly, and you know what? And I mean, everybody follow the Rev. He does his own solo show, like he's saying.
I mean, it's on the same channel, so like that
exactly.
should show that we're still cool.
Yeah, we're fine. Everything's fine here. Everything's hunky dory. All right, so let's go into some NFL here. We're just gonna do pick'ems for all you guys out there. I know everybody loves pick'ems, and hopefully, I think right now I'm winning by four or three wins.
You're about 4, and so, I'll get you back on the college bowl game show.
Oh, okay, all right. So the first matchup, all right, I'm gonna go with here is a hot, and I'm gonna say it, hot Cleveland Browns team against a somewhat hot, I say a little ember, of Denver Broncos in Denver. That's a good matchup.
I have said this more this year than I've ever said in my life. I like the Browns. I am on the Browns.
I like the Browns. Well, I like the Browns when they drafted Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, it was a good pickup. But then they didn't start, and I was like, okay, but you still had Tyrod. I still like the move. But then Mayfield's taken over.
He's taken over. And you know what's crazy is Tyrod is totally fine with it.
Yeah, he's a great friend of Baker.
Yeah.
And
that's what you need for good chemistry for the starters and the people on the bench. If you have no tirade going on in there, I think that's just a recipe for a good team to come.
And Baker even said that Tyrod gives him a lot of good information and feedback.
Yeah, most definitely.
When he comes off the field. So, but I'm not gonna fault Denver. Philip Lindsay is killing it.
He's looking good on the rookie right now.
I mean, undrafted free agent.
Do you think he kept so? Honestly, I feel like
I say Phil Lindsay's number 2.
Well, no, he's definitely number 2. But Saquon and him, Lindsay's starting to catch up.
Lindsay's I think Lindsay is.
But Saquon is getting the wins that he needs.
But here's the thing though, Saquon going in, they knew that he was going to be the team, and he was.
Well, yeah.
Phil Lindsay came in.
Was like, I'm here.
On a team that was an air attack.
He did get drafted, though. He wasn't undrafted.
No, he was undrafted.
Was he undrafted?
He was undrafted.
He was undrafted.
So here's Phil Lindsay's background story, and it's amazing. It's kind of like Adam Thielen, but even better.
Better than Adam Thielen, really?
Yeah, his story.
There's no way. Adam Thielen's story is pretty good.
So here's Phil Lindsay's story. I grew up in Denver, went to high school in Denver, played his high school championship game in the Mile High Stadium.
Okay.
Played at Colorado. Played a game or two at Mile High Stadium with Colorado.
Okay.
Went undrafted. Got a phone call from all 32 teams.
And said no to all of them.
And he picked Denver, who drafted a running back.
Yeah, then he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
He got hurt. No.
He beat him out.
He beat him out. I remember this. Okay, now I know the story you're talking about.
He showed up, and he beat him out. And people were like, oh, shit, this guy can play.
Yeah.
They call him the Pit Bull.
I don't know. I've never met him in person, but, the way he runs is very aggressive.
They said that because he's so aggressive on the field that they call him the Pit Bull.
I would consider him like a prime, not Marshawn Lynch, but I would call him a, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank here. Was it Steven Jackson?
So
not as big though.
There's a story that Von Miller told about 3 weeks ago on the Scott Van Pelt show, and it was hilarious. He said, "Yeah, we're doing our getting ready for our preseason. We're in our camp and stuff, and here comes this Philip Lindsay guy that, no one knew who he was, and they were having all the rookies, like say, hey, like do kind of like an intro thing.
Yeah.
And Philip Lindsay stood there and goes, hey, I'm Philip Lindsay. I'm here to win, and sat down.
And you know what? It started to show in Denver, who everybody thought was not going to be even a 500 team.
Yeah.
And they're playing 500 ball, which isn't bad.
They lost Sanders for the year.
Yep.
They traded away Demaryius Thomas.
They're still winning, though. They just won last week.
Because of Lindsay.
That's what I'm saying. They're still winning, though.
Cleveland can shut down the run.
That's true. Cleveland has more assets than what Denver has.
And so for that, I'm going Cleveland.
I'm going Cleveland, too.
But it's going to be a close one. It will be a close one.
I'm going with Cleveland by 14. Only reason I'm saying this is because Jarvis Landry finally got the game he needed to set off.
Yeah.
Plus, Chubb is running like a maniac.
Chubb is trying to get that.
That's what I'm saying. Chubb is running like a maniac. You got basically you have two rookies that are like, hey, have at it. This is your offense. Do whatever you want. And they're running away with it.
Yeah.
And that's there for a long time. Jarvis Landry, there for what, another season? I think he's got...
He'll probably resign it, though. He'll probably spend it
the way that they're playing like this, there's the potential of going to playoffs, and he wants to go to playoffs, so...
I think they can make playoffs this year.
I don't think so.
It's
like a 1% chance for them.
They win this... if they win this game, they're right in it.
Well, they have to win out.
They have to win out.
It's doable. I don't know. I haven't looked at the rest of their schedule.
It's doable.
But they can definitely beat Denver.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the rest of they have on their schedule. Plus, you have to also...
They don't play anybody. They got Cincinnati and Baltimore. They could easily win out.
They could easily win out. But here's the thing. So who's the second wild card? So the Chargers are number 1.
Yeah, right now it's Baltimore.
Oh, they could easily take that spot.
That's what I'm saying.
They could easily take that spot.
Yeah.
But Baltimore has to lose one game.
But they played Baltimore, so they could be that.
What I'm saying, though, is...
So, week 17, Browns, Ravens, I'm calling it. Winner of that game gets the wild card.
If that happens, that's nuts. And you know what? You know what happens to that then? Is I say Baker Mayfield takes Rookie of the Year.
If he can pull that off,
if he pulls that off, I don't see Saquon taking it. I say Baker Mayfield takes it.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so we're both picking Browns here. So the next one I got is Houston at New York Jets.
Oh, Houston.
That's Houston. I'm not even going to go into depth on that.
That's Houston.
You got a struggling Arizona and a struggling Atlanta team. You want to go? I don't want to go super in depth on it. I know it's your team and all, but both teams are a struggle right now, and it's just it's really sad to see Atlanta like that. Like Matt Ryan having a good year, Julio having a good year. But still,
Calvin Ridley having a solid year.
It's a defense struggling team.
Our run game can't get off the ground. And
Freeman needs
Freeman needs to come back.
I wouldn't even say at this point. You're not making playoffs, of course. But here's the thing: is I would tell Freeman literally, I'm not going to start you.
Yeah, no, Freeman's.
You need to sit and rest for next year.
I think Freeman knows he's done, and as much as I hate it, I want Atlanta to win every game, obviously. But our defense is so bad.
It is.
But the thing is,
you're sucking for a good pick though.
But Rosen's not a great quarterback. I'm thinking we can win this game. I'm thinking we can pull this one out.
I think you guys will win by 10.
I think
it's in Atlanta, so I think you'll be okay.
I think we can pull this one out.
I agree. So far we're all on the same page here. Then we got Oakland. Oh my God, at Cincinnati. I honestly feel like Oakland's gonna win this game.
I was so at work. I do a little preview pick 'em with some guys at work. Jeffrey Geis was on the show. You guys know his football knowledge. And
with Miami.
And a guy named Puckett who will be on the show soon. And they both picked Cincinnati, and I was like, guys,
nope. I don't see it.
Oakland's got a 2-game win streak. They're picking up some steam.
That and the front office problems with Cincinnati is too big of a distraction. And if Marvin Lewis is not fired at the end of the season, if you are a Cincinnati fan, I give you all means necessary to vacate that premises and become a fan of a different team.
Yeah, you have
every right to leave that because you stuck it out that long with Marvin Lewis. He only could get you one playoff win with teams that were almost legitimate, the best team. They had the best record twice.
Don't forget, man, the teams of Palmer, the law firm, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ocho Cinco.
And you can't win.
I mean,
you cannot win.
I don't know. I'm going Oakland. I think Oakland's starting to figure it out.
But here's also the thing is if I'm Coach Gruden, I'd be like, okay guys, we can't get too good because we gotta get that number 1 overall pick, which they have 2 picks in the first round.
I think they do this. I think they pull this number right here. You beat Cincinnati,
and then you fall off.
You get the 4 wins. Atlanta's 4 wins. Green Bay's 4 wins. There's a bunch of good teams that are having bad years that are 4 wins. So if you get to 4 wins, you're like, well, we're just having a bad year. I mean, look at Green Bay, look at Atlanta, look at all these teams that have, and then you can be like, then the Oakland fan will be like, oh yeah, well they're having a bad year, we're just having a bad year, and then it all works out.
That's true. I understand that. All right, so next one I got is Miami coming off a fantastic win, historical win against Minnesota, who's also been struggling. And Minnesota is fighting to keep that second spot. They're still in the wild card as the second team, and Miami is still there too for the AFC.
They're in the hunt for their division.
Yeah, and I would say honestly, since it's in Minnesota, I'm gonna have to take Minnesota on this, just because they know how important this game is. And losing last week to Seattle, it killed them.
And losing the week before to England.
They're almost like at a Carolina level, which is not good.
And the thing is, I just don't. This was hard to call because like the Dolphins, they're winning games. They lead the league in big plays.
Yep.
They're not good.
They're not good.
I don't know. I don't know how they're 7. They're not good.
It's like, okay, so literally I'm gonna put them winning what? They've won 7 games now?
Yeah.
So this is how they've won 7 games. Look at last week. Last play of the game. That's all they needed. That's it. That's all they do every week.
Hey, they do enough to keep them in the game.
Exactly. So
I don't think
they have enough to beat Minnesota, because Minnesota's defense is still very strong.
And they did look bad, and they're on the road both games.
Seattle did not win that game from their offense.
They won from their defense.
They won from their defense, so Minnesota still has a good defense. Kirk Cousins is not Kirk Cousins this year.
But I think it's a new system. You just gotta give him time.
But here's the thing: it's his last year. Does he resign?
Yeah, you resign him. Yeah, he resigns and.
Well, Stephon Diggs resigned.
Yeah, you resign, and you're gonna resign Kirk Cousins because you don't want to go get another quarterback and have the same first year. Yeah. Every quarterback struggles with a new offensive coordinator. That's just proven.
Yeah,
and so
I get it.
He's in a new system. He's starting to feel it out, and so.
You'd figure he'd be really well though, because he's in a dome too. There's nothing.
It's still different. I mean, look at Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, his first year with offensive coordinator.
But he's still producing yards, though.
Well, his second year, though. His first year is always the worst.
But we're not talking about, he's brand new, okay? Kirk, okay, so here's the thing. For me, if I was an NFL offensive coordinator, head coach, whatever it may be, all right, and I get this quarterback, he's been in the league 5 or more seasons, right? And he comes to me as a new person. You know what? You have enough knowledge as a veteran to know how to adapt faster than a rookie or a brand new person that's been in the league less than 5 seasons. This is unacceptable to me.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, everyone's trying to crucify Kirk Cousins. I'm like,
I'm not trying to crucify him, but he's not taking it serious enough, I don't think.
I think he is.
I feel like, okay, so if you go into some NFL videos or anything like that, post-game speeches from him, it's almost kind of pathetic.
I think he knows. I think he knows that he's not playing the way he should. I think he knows.
But here's the thing:
he's dealing with it.
But nobody talks about the off the camera stuff that he's doing. Is he doing more film work? Is he doing more practices? And it doesn't sound like he's doing any of that. He's just coming in, practice. Okay, all right, I'm gone.
I don't know. Kirk Cousins to me,
He's a good quarterback.
I don't think you. In Washington, he was the guy. He was the leader. He was.
But he also came to a struggling Redskins team that just went through all
Yeah, I think he
the
was.
Robert Griffin and all that.
I think he was. He went to a team that I don't think he was ready for. He don't think he was ready to inherit this almost.
He's got a
Super Bowl bound.
Yeah, he's got a winning team.
They had the chemistry. They had.
Yep. Honestly, I feel like they would win more with Case Keenum there right now. Honestly, I like the way that this season's going.
Yeah, but I say give Cousins one more year before we really decide.
All right. So, but are you going to Minnesota? Or are you going to Miami?
I'm going to go Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay. So far, we need to have a breakup here. Maybe with this one, Dallas at Indianapolis.
I'm going Indy.
I'm going with Dallas just because of that hot streak they're riding and they're playing good football all around. Indy is playing great football
At home.
So, but the thing is Andrew Luck last week could not score, which is a big issue.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still going Indy. They're in Lucas Oil, and
It's a tough place to play.
that's one of those plays. I mean, any home field advantage you get in the NFL is huge.
But Indy fans are sometimes extreme.
But that's a.
And you know who could very much vouch for that is Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, dude.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Cuzzo, dude.
I love that show.
I love it so much. If you really want to get in depth on just the NFL side of things, check out the Pat McAfee show.
Definitely.
It's really good.
So we're at disagreement on that. So I have Dallas, you have Indy.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Next one is Tampa at Baltimore, which is I'm gonna say Tampa Bay takes that game.
I'm saying Tampa because against Carolina they shut down.
They did, and you know what? I think Joe Flacco is an easier target to get to than Cam Newton.
Flacco's not starting. It's Lamar Jackson.
It is
again.
Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson does not throw. He doesn't throw. He won the first 3 games.
And when he can't throw,
he loses.
Yeah, and
it showed last week.
And it showed in the draft. I was bored on Watch the other day, and I was watching the Combine again.
Okay.
And they were showing the deep ball.
He doesn't have an arm.
The ball would go the distance, but it was almost like Jay Cutler-esque. It was just all over the place.
Yeah. So there's no accuracy.
Yeah. So there. I mean.
Okay. I got Tampa.
I got Tampa.
I got Tampa in that one.
I'm also calling a close one though.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. Here's a kind of like a battle of the worst. Detroit at Buffalo. I say Buffalo takes it. Buffalo takes that, and I'm saying it's because of that weather.
I'm saying because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen just broke Michael Vick's rushing record.
I don't know
for a
how that's
quarterback.
possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how
He
it's
is.
possible.
Look, Josh Allen was like, all right, I see Mayfield over there winning games with his arm.
I might as well do
and
it.
he has Chubb. I want to do it all. He's like, screw it.
If I'm in Buffalo, I'm actually happy that Josh Allen is. He's mediocre right now.
Well, my thing is, he had some growing pains in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
As expected. I think he's starting to.
And I think the guys on the team are starting to follow him too, which is good.
I think they're starting to buy in over there.
And for some reason, I'm so happy they got rid of Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know what happened to him, man.
Yeah, he fell apart once he left Carolina. So, next one is a struggling Green Bay team at Chicago. Chicago's going to dominate that game.
Own that one.
Next one is a struggling now Washington Redskins team at Jacksonville. I've got Jacksonville in this one.
I've got Jacksonville just because look at the quarterback situation. I think last week Mark Sanchez played a little bit and Josh Johnson played a little bit.
Yeah. The quarterback issue at Washington is just unbelievable how that went out. And I feel so bad for Washington Redskins fans.
But, Rand, there's some drama with Jacksonville and Jalen Ramsey.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, he wants the contract.
Well, he came out today and said that...
He wants, does he want to trade?
He goes, if you want me, pay me. If not, I'm walking.
Well, if he does that, then that's going to also hurt his chance at, like, free agency. So hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't do. I don't want him to do a Le'Veon Bell.
It won't hurt his chance of free agency. Because look at Josh Norman. Josh Norman did the same thing in Carolina. He was like, I'm the best cornerback. Pay me my money. They were like, we'll pay you this much. He said, screw it. I'm gonna go to Washington.
Yeah, I don't think Jalen Ramsey's that good though.
I think he is.
I think he's okay. Sorry, let me backtrack here. He is a good cornerback. He is not a great cornerback.
I think he's
still got to be in the league a little bit longer.
I think he's a good zone quarterback. I don't think he's a good man quarterback.
Do you see? I could see him. Honestly, he's fast, And he's a medium-sized cornerback. So what that means is he's not just built for speed, and he's not just built for height. He's stuck in the middle. He's got both. Use him as a free safety.
See, I would love him on Atlanta.
Use him as a free safety. He has zone, like you said, zone coverage is his key.
See, Atlanta runs a lot of zones, so I want to run. So what I want to see is
his speed would be great.
I want to see him in Atlanta. If he becomes a free agent, I say Atlanta. You pull that trigger, you go get him.
Yeah, and then I'd convert him.
I would convert him. We have
Trufant's not that good.
He's not a free safety. He's a cornerback.
And that's what I'm saying though. Trufant is not a good.
Trufant be number 2. Bring Ramsey to number 1, and then you still have Keanu Neal, Ricardo Allen as your free safety. Plus you have Devontae Casey, who's leading the league in interceptions. Who showed that hey, I can play this position too.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna play a speed round here because we got a lot of games. We got a lot of info to go through with other leagues here.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Tennessee at New York Giants.
Tennessee.
I got New York.
I got Tennessee.
All right. Seattle at San Fran. That's an easy one. Seattle.
Massacre.
New England at Pittsburgh. I've got New England.
I got New England just because no James Conner.
Yep. Philly at LA Rams. Rams. Yep. And New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans. And then the prime time for Sunday, Chargers at KC.
That's tonight.
Is that tonight? Oh, that is Thursday night. So, I got
LA.
I've got Chargers too. Just because I want to see. I love Patrick Mahomes, but I also want to see Phillip Rivers get the credit he deserves.
The Chiefs look bad.
But they got Eric Berry back tonight.
Yeah, they look bad against Baltimore.
That's true.
And Baltimore
is not a good team.
Not the Chargers. And yeah, you're going to be like, well, KC dominated the Chargers first game of the season. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was game 1. This is now
a renovated team. They've won what, like 6 straight?
They've won a bunch. No, they haven't won 6 straight because they lost to Denver like 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
But they're 10-3.
Melvin Gordon is not back though.
Yes.
Is he back?
He is back.
But here's the thing with Melvin Gordon, man, and even as a fantasy owner of him.
No, he's not out. Sorry, I got the update on my phone for you.
He is out.
He is out.
That's what I said.
I
Okay.
gotta make some fancy changes
so
real quick.
he is out. Eckler, I think, is questionable. But if I'm the Chargers, literally, what was that kid's name?
Justin Jackson.
Literally ran people over.
He's good too.
He's
the rushing leader for Northwestern.
Like literally, put him in, let him play. You guys are winning with him. Keep using him. And that's all I have for NFL pick'ems.
Yeah, I think
we're cutting it close on time here, so we're gonna kind of do speed rounds for everything.
Right, let's hit the NBA real quick. For all you guys that want the NBA, here's why we're not doing the NBA.
It's boring.
It's boring, guys.
It's a boring season.
You had the Draymond Green KD issue. You had some off-season deals.
The only thing I could see that's like exciting is Golden State is super beatable this year.
Yeah, they're human this year.
And I mean I can also say like, hey, it's good to see Toronto. Toronto's been good, but they've never been great until this year.
Well, that's Kawhi. I think Kawhi brings that to him.
But he was out last game and they still won.
Well, I think but it's
that presence,
he brings that Popovich.
But if you think about too, like, so fun fact for you here. All right, so Kawhi is a defensive player.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you have Lowry there.
Yeah.
Kind of defensive player, more of like a Chris Paul.
He's more of a two-way.
Yeah. But Lowry leads the NBA in assists per game with 10, which is a lot to average. Like 10 a game minimum, right? You have Kyrie, who's almost, I think he's like in the top 10 for points scored a game, which is unheard of from him, because he was never that kind of top scorer guy, because he always had Tim Duncan, he always had Parker, he had Ginobili, and it was a well balanced play, so everybody scored.
Yeah.
But if you put those two together with a defense like that team is unbeatable. That's the team that's going to go to the championship, especially in a struggling Eastern Conference, which the last 3 teams in the Eastern Conference for the top 8 are all losing records, while the top 3 or the bottom 3 and the top 8 for the Western all have winning records. Yep. It's a scary Western Conference.
But the Western Conference has always been scary.
And but here's the thing: Golden State is terrified now because teams are starting to play really well.
Yeah, because teams are starting to realize, like, okay.
Especially Denver. Denver's coming out, man.
Yeah, they are. They're looking pretty good this year.
And then the Lakers are finally finding their stride that been having to live up to this year with LeBron there. So, and then we'll see what happens with that Ariza and Ingram trade if they pull that trigger. I think there's too much complication there.
I think it's going to happen. But yeah, that's NBA, guys, because like I said, it's pretty boring. Not much going on.
Yeah, same thing with the NHL, guys. Like, usually, NHL is pretty hype. This is like it's almost a mid-season. Not there yet. But honestly, there's nothing really going on. The same teams keep winning. The same teams keep losing.
No real surprises there.
Everybody's kind of staying the same. Like, it's literally hey, let's use Vegas since that's your team. Yeah. Vegas won a game. And then Vegas loses a game. Vegas wins a game. Same thing with San Jose. Except for the Lightning. Lightning keep on winning.
But that's the Lightning. That's what they do.
Yep. Steve Stamkos is the boss.
Yeah, nothing. No big trades going on.
Nothing
really happening there.
Nothing really.
But I'll tell you what is having a lot of trades and drama.
That's that Major League Baseball. Oh man. Oh, I've been tracking this thing for like the past a week and a half since winter meetings happened.
So, I feel so bad for Carlos Santana.
No, do not feel bad for him.
This is why. So he literally yesterday he finally sold his house in Philly and bought his house in Seattle, and now they just traded him to Cleveland. So he has to sell that house again and then turn around and go buy a house in Cleveland.
Okay, but here's the thing: he's a professional. He'll adapt.
I mean, he'll adapt. It's kind of.
He's got money.
Regardless of your professional, it's still kind of shitty.
It is, but let me tell you this. Okay, so we'll stick on this trade for like a quick second here. All right, so Seattle getting Edwin out of it. Great filling in that Nelson Cruz strictly role because Edwin is not a good fielder. Ryan Healy's there; he'll be fine, or Kyle Seager, whoever wants to play first base. Carlos Santana, worth more money, less productive.
Yeah. Goes
back to Cleveland. I think this is good for him, statistically wise and playing wise, because Cleveland loved him.
Yeah.
And he left, so I don't know what the backlash is when he left and come back.
Cleveland's showing that when you leave and come back, they still
Plus, Philly got the money out of the way. Seattle got that money out of the way with Carlos Santana. He's owed $48 million over the next 2 seasons, which is ridiculous for a below average player and old. And for you to say, oh, he has to move again.
It's just
you would not be a good GM. You have to be firm with these people. You have to say, we just traded you back to Cleveland. Bye. Have fun.
I gotta put it in my shoes. Like, damn, that'd be kind of shitty.
Yeah, but okay,
I'm not saying I don't understand
he's getting paid $24 million a season.
I'm not saying I don't understand the move, and I get he's professional. He should know.
And honestly, if he bought that house in Seattle, screw it, rent it out.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying, just a strictly not a business standpoint.
So you need to be an agent, is what you're telling me.
Dude, I'd be a great agent.
Oh my God. Okay, so going on with MLB here. If you guys haven't looked, if you guys aren't MLB fans, I think you guys should look into it. Get your knowledge in a little bit. Usually during this time, there's a thing called the winter meetings happening. This year's in Vegas. It always kind of changes up everywhere. But if you're not into MLB, or if you have a little bit of knowledge on it, watch these trades happen, and it's crazy of how much marketing is happening with all these moves and everything like that. And honestly, it'll broaden your knowledge not just on MLB, but just in the sports world on how marketing works, how trades happen, and everything like that. I would say, honestly, during the winter meetings, there's at least 3 trades a day.
Yeah, there's
3 trades a day, or signings, one of the two. Just like Andrew McCutchen going to Philly. I like it a lot, and they signed him for 3 years, and I think relatively cheap for $57 million.
Yeah, especially where it came from.
That's pretty cheap. I like Milwaukee not re-signing Jonathan Scope.
Yeah,
I think that helped them so much because Scope did nothing, absolutely nothing when he got there. Literally.
Yeah.
He did nothing. I can't even recall them even saying his name for playoffs or anything.
They didn't.
And I think they're going to use that money now to I don't know if they've already done it, but to re-sign Mike Moustakas, who did absolutely phenomenal.
They're still in talks.
But the thing is if they do that, where does Travis Shaw go? Which is a big guy with a big power bat. So that means you got to trade somebody or convert him somewhere.
You can convert him.
I think he'd be a good corner outfielder, something like that.
Go on the left.
Yeah, Atlanta still staying hot in talks with. So right now, my newest source that I have, because I have a couple people that are in the baseball world.
I know you are.
All right, and one of them still signed His name is Austin Hedges for the Padres. And I don't talk to him directly, but he played against my high school.
Obviously, I know.
Yeah. And but people that know him, I know, and they said that Atlanta is starting to get hot in talks with the Corey Kluber trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who they're going to give up for that. That's kind of a shot in the dark. You have to give up a lot for that.
So the name that's floating around Atlanta is...
Because Foltzy's a free agent, right? Or is he still signed?
Oh, he signed.
But that's not a big enough name.
We're not going to give up Foltzy to get Kluber. We're getting Kluber to be with Foltzy.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But who do you give up that's that good? You don't want to give up Albies. You can't give up Acuna.
We're going to... So...
Camargo is a big one you can probably get rid of.
Swanson.
No, it's not good enough because he's underproducing.
He's a defensive guy, though. He is so good in defense.
But Cleveland doesn't need that. They already have Francisco Lindor there.
But... Yeah, so they're bringing the Swanson. They're bringing Swanson is in the trade, and I've been saying this for a couple of years now. Tehran's finally up.
He's got to go
for a trade.
I would honestly say, like, you know what? Honestly, here's the thing: if the Dansby Swanson thing works, you're gonna have to give up him, top prospects, and cash just to get Kluber.
We have one of the best prospect farms.
That's what I get. But the money wise, you just signed Josh Donaldson, which is a big thing, and then you have to take on Kluber's contract, which is a lot. But Dansby Swanson could easily convert to second base over there because Jason Kipnis is not playing well.
The thing is that Atlanta has been preparing for this for about 3 or 4 seasons now.
You just have to beat LA.
We've been stockpiling money for this big push.
I wouldn't waste it on Corey Kluber though. He's great, but
pitching's our Achilles heel.
I would wait until next season because I think there would be better free agents for starting pitching. Or if I'm you can go the cheaper route and still get a decent pitcher. Is Dallas Keuchel?
I'd be up for Trevor Bauer.
He's
better than what we got. He'd be cheaper than what we got.
Yeah, that's true.
If we can't get, it's one of those deals like, can't get Kluber, give me Bauer. Bauer's better than most pitchers on a rotation.
He just got good.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Okay, so
but even
you have Trevor Bauer who had a great season, but does not have consistency.
But even before then, we have pitchers on our rotation that are just consistently bad.
I get it. I get that starting pitching is your Achilles. I get it. But your bats already do make up for those wins, and it showed last year.
They do, but...
Okay? But here's the thing. I'm not going to waste... If I had to go between Corey Kluber and Trevor Bauer, which whenever I wanted to get,
yeah,
I'd go with Kluber in a hot second.
Yeah.
I'd go with Kluber in a hot second. Only because, 1, he's got more contract years. 2, he's consistent. 3, he leads in like ERA in the top 3 every single season.
Here's the thing I can say: go for Bauer. You go for Bauer. You don't take on that much.
If you want a cheaper route, go after Noah Syndergaard. He's up.
But then you automatically. But if you go for, they're gonna trade him to the Yankees. That's.
There's no way.
That trade is getting hot. That is getting legs.
Okay, so I can't tell if the Mets are all in.
Or all out.
It's not that they're all out because they just signed Familia. He's back from Oakland, right? But I can't tell because they have a really good young team too. So they have Nimmo and Wright. Cespedes is still there. They got what's the center fielder? Is it Logres or something like that?
Oh yeah, like LaGuardia.
Something weird. And then third base. I don't know who's playing third base there right now. Because I know... Because shortstop is still Jose Reyes, technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
First base... I don't know who.
They have a big country boy there.
And they just lost their catcher. Travis d'Arnaud is gone. Second... Who do they... Well, they got Robinson Cano at second now.
Yeah,
And then... Their starting pitching is phenomenal, and their bullpen's phenomenal, and now they got Edwin Diaz there now too. With Familia, that makes no sense, but okay.
Exactly.
They're not. Okay, so who they're gonna give up Edwin Diaz?
No, they're gonna give up Noah, dude. So it's in talks right now. They're gonna get the talks that I've seen. It's a 3-way trade between New York, both the city.
Is it Miami?
It's the city of New York
To get
and
JT
Miami.
Realmoto?
Yeah, they're
Oh my God!
The Mets get Realmoto.
If they do that,
The
no.
The Yankees get Noah, and they both send a player to Miami.
Miami is not gonna get any good deal out of that.
So I don't know, but that's.
Well, talk about my team here. Seattle's just giving people away.
Yeah.
So,
I'm.
What I don't get, okay, so this is my mentality, all right? Jerry DiPoto has always been known to trade, right? Ever since he was with the Angels too, right? He comes to Seattle, has probably the best season he's had since being the GM there. And he's like, well, we got everything we pretty much need to have a winning season. Let's get rid of it. We need young guys. Why?
Welcome to Atlanta.
Why do you need to get... You just had a great season. Without Robinson Cano half the season...
Welcome to Atlanta.
So here's the thing. The first trade they did with Mike Zunino for Malik Smith, that made sense to me. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's you can find a catcher and in the kind of like the meadows, if you want to say, bring him up and somehow he's a superstar.
Yeah, catchers are a dime a dozen.
Malik Smith had a phenomenal season. He's always been a great player, and with him and D. Gordon at the top of your lineup, you're expecting at least 120 stolen bases that year.
That's kind of like a NCRT Albies type of deal.
Right? So it's like, okay, that makes sense. But then they're like, okay, well, then they traded some relief pitching. I think it was Alex Colon for a good catcher in White Sox, which I was like, okay, we already have enough bullpen. We're making good trades. This is making sense. Then they were like, oh, Robinson Cano, I get, old, has a lot of years on his contract, owed a lot of money, is gone. Plus Edwin Diaz. Why would you want to get rid of Edwin Diaz, who has team control, just came off the best saves he's ever had, for Jay Bruce and Swarzak with two of their top prospects, which is okay, but it's still a prospect. You don't know.
Their prospects their farm system's pretty low though.
And then cash considerations.
So this is Seattle. If Seattle was a person,
it makes me so upset.
They'd be the guy that goes, "Oh, I didn't make playoffs in fantasy, but you did.
So here's my team.
Here
are my good players. Take them.
Go win the championship.
Right? So
and if you win, I'll win."
And then they're like, "Oh, Gene Segura, you just made the All-Star team. Yeah, you can go too. Let's get J.P. Crawford in here, who's never played a whole season yet." Yes. Oh, he's a great young talented player on the field. Can he hit? No. Can he make an All-Star team? Don't know yet. Okay, so that's our shortstop. Second base, I don't know who it is. First base, you got Ryan Healy or Kyle Seager, one of the two. Both of them can play first and third, which is crazy. I like the Edwin trade, like I said before. Edwin is a good fill for Nelson Cruz. I like it. Right field, Mitch Haniger. Please keep Mitch Haniger. They said that they wanted to keep both. They said Edwin Diaz and Mitch Haniger were untouchable, and that's what they wanted to build around. Well, Edwin Diaz is gone, so Mitch Haniger, you're by default the untouchable one. And please don't get rid of my favorite player on that team. The hype man that you need, that charisma, that attitude and everything. Please don't get rid of D. Gordon. That player is under contract for 2 more years.
Yeah, but...
And he's great on and off the field.
The way Seattle's dealing, though, any team could show to Seattle and be like, hey, I have $100 and a pack of gum and this 13-year-old. And they'd be like, yep, all right.
It's so stupid. I don't get it. All the Seattle fans, I don't know if you guys agree with all these trades happening. I certainly don't. We just had one of the closest seasons we could to get to the playoffs, and you want to trade everything away. Granted, Oakland hopefully does not have a good season again because they're not getting everybody back. Another big trade. Still don't know anything about Bryce Harper. That's hard to put a finger on.
And Machado too.
I think Machado's closer to signing than Bryce Harper is, and I think Manny Machado's going to Chicago.
I think so. He's gonna be the next.
I think he's a White Sox player. Which I don't know how I feel. I think that's just literally it's a Robinson Cano move. He did it for the money.
Yeah.
He did it for the money. Bryce Harper, on the other hand, I think is looking for an actual winning team that can give him the money. Atlanta's out of the talks. New York's out of the talks now. The Nats are still kind of there. And with Andrew McCutchen signing with Philly, he's not going to Philly. So, this is crazy. I'm seeing Chicago Cubs. I'm seeing the Cubs. Who plays right field for them? Ian Happ plays center. Almora can play left.
So I'm seeing LA.
No.
Because
it's too crowded out there.
LA already came out and they said they're trying to shop Puig and Kemp. They're trying to open up room in the outfield.
I can understand. Okay, so if I were them, I would understand Puig because you can get more out of it than Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp has one more season left on his contract. Just wait it out. And he had a great year.
They're trying to shop him because why are you trying to shop your outfield?
Yeah, but they're also still trying to get Manny. They're still trying to get Manny. But they have Corey Seager coming back, so it's like, what's the point of him there?
And then you're going, okay, well, come on, Bryce.
What if, just hear me out, what if the San Diego Padres were like, do you want to start your own dynasty? Like what they told to Eric Hosmer? We have lots of money. We have a lot of young prospects that can probably play really well if they learn from you. Come over to San Diego. It's beautiful. You're close to Las Vegas. I'm not ruling that out. If that happens...
That'd be the biggest plot twist.
Well, it's just like Robinson Cano. Nobody expected him to sign with Seattle. Seattle was no part in that.
If Bryce signs with the Padres, that's honestly the biggest plot twist since Shutter Island. We find out that he was just a mental patient and that actually got
So you mean to tell me Leonardo DiCaprio is the Padres?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would pretty much say that Bryce Harper is the Padres. Cool. M. Night Shyamalan runs the MLB because no one saw that plot twist.
Well, that's all I got for MLB.
Yeah,
I think are we signing out here?
We are crunched for time. So before we go, as always, check out Big Zay Mac.
Of course.
On Spotify. iTunes. Check out his Instagram.
Yeah.
At Big Zay Mac.
Exactly. I do it every day. I actually listen to his music just on my way over here.
It's such a good album.
It is. And you know what? Here's the thing is, I don't know if he's putting out another one. Or, I mean, he's definitely going to put out another one
soon, but he's got a lot of shows coming up.
It's tour time.
Yeah, he's going to... I know he's got a big show in Mississippi.
Back in the hometown.
Yeah, back in hometown, and he is redoing the Soma show. He's going to give me dates and times for that.
So he did not perform?
Work got in the way.
Oh.
His actual job, yeah. So...
Okay.
So, yeah, work and some other things got in the way, so they had to do it. But
so we'll get an update with that.
So we'll get an update with that. We'll give you guys the scoop on Soma and when they come out and see him and see us.
And I think pretty soon we're going to be putting out
shirts. Yeah.
The shirts are going to be, the designs are looking good.
Check out Big Zay Mac. He's actually going to show up on his Instagram. Yeah. So check out Big Zay Mac. You want to see the shirts.
And then we hope you all have a fine Thursday evening or whatever day it is that you're listening to this.
Yeah, and as always, happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays, guys. Have a good one.
We'll talk to you later.